What's going on, everyone? Sports Snippets, Dennis Sullivan here. Saturday the 24th of October. How are you? Hope you're having a good weekend. Here to discuss the Miami Dolphins New York Jet game that concluded last Sunday, which of course was back on the 18th of October. If you do like this particular video and you like the content of this video, please go ahead and like below. I would appreciate that, of course. And you can subscribe to my channel as well, Sports Snippets with Dennis Sullivan. You can find me on my podcast also under the same title, Sports Snippets with Dennis Sullivan, on various platforms. So let's get into it, guys. Two things I really want to discuss right now. There's been that developing story with Tua starting as the quarterback effective November 1st when the Dolphins play next. And then I want to discuss, of course, the latest victory over the New York Jets, 24-0. Let's first discuss the Tua news and Fitzpatrick news, for that matter. Now, of course, the Dolphins have a bye week on Sunday the 25th. So the whole idea of Tua will now be the starter from that perspective makes perfect sense. Meaning, we're going to have the rookie come in, we're going to have him start. This will give him that extra week to prepare the team to get acclimated to the change, and so on and so forth. So from that side of things, it makes perfect sense. From all other angles, which I will briefly mention to you, it does not make that much sense. And here's why. The main reason is Ryan Fitzpatrick is playing really good football, ladies and gentlemen, and the Dolphins are winning games. We've won 2 in a row. We're 3-3 right now, right in the mix of the AFC. In my humble opinion, this is not the time to be doing this. You want to start Tua this year. Okay, I get it. He is the future. I'm not disputing that Tua is not the future of the Miami Dolphins. As a matter of fact, I'm happy that he's the future of the Miami Dolphins. And I have big projections for this guy. I think Tua is going to be good. But it's just a little too early. It's just a little too early. When is it good to have him start? I mean, I can't give you an exact week. I mean, it would probably, in my opinion, sometime after week 10, 11. That would be my whole idea, or just work him in. Have him play. What's wrong with having him play in certain sequences, certain sets for the next 4, 5, 6 weeks? And then we can go from there. But right now, guys, Ryan Fitzpatrick's just playing too good. He just is. Leave him out there. So this isn't an anti-Tua thing. This is more of a pro-Fitzpatrick angle that I'm taking. So now that we got that out of the way, and the Dolphins will play next, as mentioned, November 1st. That will be against the Los Angeles Rams, actually, and that will be a home game. So the Dolphins will be enjoying the bye week after their victory last Sunday against the 0-6 New York Jets. The Jets are absolutely, their special teams are absolutely atrocious. I mean, one of the worst special teams I've ever seen, ever, when I've watched that game between the New York Jets and Miami Dolphins, which was a home game for the Dolphins. So the final score was 24-0. Let's not forget, folks, that it was the Dolphins who, in fact, were pathetic. We remember, we were that pathetic team, that just couldn't do anything right for a while back in 2019 and lost all our games by just as bad scores as the Jets, if not worse. And then finally things started clicking. And then finally we started winning games. So this whole idea that the Jets may not win any games, it's still early, guys. They have plenty of time and they can improve. But right now, it's not looking good for them at all. So let's get into, I'm going to throw some numbers at you here, as I usually do when I recap the games. And I'll kind of run through this victory that took place. Now, Fitzpatrick played good again. Here we go, guys. 18 of 27. Didn't really need to air it out that much. I mean, he threw for 191 yards, 3 first-half touchdowns. He did have 2 interceptions, but I mean, that was more after the Dolphins had the lead. He got a little careless there towards the end of the first half, threw one, was sacked twice. Tua did come in towards the very end, as you may recall. He was 2 out of 2 throwing the football, 9 yards passing. This was a game for Myles Gaskin. Gaskin, I mean, we know he's been getting the volume, but his productivity definitely went higher in this game when we talk about total yards gained, and we also talk about his average per carry was really good. It was over 5 yards a carry, 18 carries, 91 yards. So the Dolphins need that. That was key, guys. That was real key. Matt Breida had 6 carries, 15 yards. So it looks more like a Gaskin-Breida backfield right now. Breida is a good, solid addition to the Dolphins. I like him a lot as a running back. The receiving breakdown on who caught passes for the Dolphins was completely spread out, as it's really been throughout the year. But this time, like, it would almost be your guess is as good as mine as who's going to catch the next pass during this game. Adam Shaheen, the backup tight end, would lead all receivers with 51 yards receiving on 3 receptions, and he had that nice touchdown catch. Jakeem Grant had 48 yards receiving on 4 catches. Devontae Parker, who primarily is your main receiver for the Dolphins, 3 catches, 35 yards. Gaskin, in addition to his 91 yards rushing, would have 3 receptions, 35 yards. That's nice. Make that 4 receptions, 35 yards. Preston Williams had 18 yards receiving on 2 catches, one of which was a touchdown. That's his 2nd straight game with a touchdown catch for Preston Williams. Breida, 2 catches, 7 yards. Durham Smythe had a 4-yard touchdown reception, his only reception. Patrick Laird had 1 catch for 2 yards. But that was the first completion for Tua in his career, would be to Patrick Laird. So there you go, guys. Dolphins win. Xavier Howard had another interception. He was, I believe, right at the time of that interception, he was the league leader with 4 interceptions on the season. Not sure if going into this week he still is. That's something I'll keep an eye on for you guys. Going into week 7, Dolphins go in at the break now, have a nice week off this weekend. As mentioned, until November 1st, sitting at 3-3, right in the mix of things, right where they want to be. For the Jets, Joe Flacco got the start. For the injured Sam Darnold, 21 out of 44, 186 yards, no touchdowns, because of course they didn't score any points. 1 interception, Flacco sacked 3 times. Frank Gore, I mean, this guy could play for any team. He's still going to produce. 11 carries, 46 yards. Ty Johnson had 3 carries, 42 yards. That was fueled by that nice 34-yard run he had. Perrine, he's a good running back for the Jets. They should probably consider featuring him a little bit more. 7 carries, 27 yards. Brashad Perryman led all Jet receivers, 4 catches, 62 yards. Jamison Crowder, 48 yards receiving on 7 catches. Gore out of the backfield, 4 catches, 24 yards. Former Miami Hurricane and now punt return specialist for the New York Jets, Mr. Braxton Berrios, had 1 catch for 18 yards. Ryan Griffin, 2 catches, 17 yards. Perrine out of the backfield, 9 yards receiving on 2 catches. Jeff Smith had a catch for 8 yards. For the Dolphins, there was no Mike Gesicki at all. I think he was targeted just a couple of times. So I don't really know what's up with that. We're going to have to watch how that develops because the Dolphins are still throwing to the tight end. I mean, you had 2 other tight ends catch passes. I mean, you had Shaheen who had a nice game, and then of course you had Durham Smythe with the 4-yard catch, touchdown reception. Not sure what's up with that. Is Gesicki banged up? I mean, he's a really good receiving tight end. So that is really the one mystery that is presently taking place for the Miami Dolphins. And also, if I were to go in a different direction of fantasy football, which I'm not really going to do right now, Was thinking of doing maybe a video geared towards fantasy football, but Mike Gesicki, not a bad tight end to have on your fantasy football team, I would think. I mean, he certainly has had some nice productivity and productive games thus far, but not against the Jets. He was pretty much invisible that game, so let's keep an eye on that one, guys. So that's where we stand. Bye week is here. Let's take a deep breath, kind of absorb everything. Let's watch all the other teams now stress out on what's going on. And let's watch maybe a little Patriots or two. We're actually technically ahead of the Patriots. How crazy is that? They're 2-3 going into this week. They've already had their bye week. So for now, guys, this is Dennis Sullivan saying I will see you, yes, you, next time. We'll talk next weekend. For now, have a great rest of your day and go Dolphins.